Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Gift. In this video I'll be making this backless halter neck dress. I'll be drafting the pattern first before transferring it to my fabric. At the top of the paper, I'm going to mark my shoulder measurements divided by 2, which is 8 inches. I'm going to come down by 12 inches for that. From that 8 inches, that will be the depth of the back. That is how wide I want the back to be open. So you can come down by 13, 14 or your half length. It depends on how open you want your own back to be. So I marked the 12 inches there. Then I'm going to rule a straight line across that dot I just marked. On the center of the paper, I'm going to mark the depth and the width of my neckline. The depth is 3 inches and the width is 3 inches. I'm going to connect both dots together. It's not that visible, but I connected both of them together. On this line, I'm going to mark my bust measurements divided by 4 plus 1.5 inches seam allowance. Then I'm going to come down by 8 inches from the line like this, and that will be my hip line. So I'm going to rule a straight line across that dot. Then on the hip line, I'm going to mark my hip measurements divided by 4. Then I'm going to add 5 inches seam allowance to the side like this. Then I'm going to connect all the dots together. I'm going to connect the tip of my neckline to the bust measurement on the bust line. Then I'm going to extend the line like this to the hip line. Then I'm going to cut out the excess parts of the paper I don't need. So I went ahead to use the pattern to cut the fabric. The fabric is already folded into two. I added half an inch to this part I'm touching, and I added half an inch to the neckline. I followed the shape of the paper to cut my fabric. So the length of this fabric is 59 inches. So this is the fabric I'll be using for the back. The width on fold is 23 inches. To get the length of your back fabric, you are going to minus the depth from the full dress length. So my full dress length is 59 inches. So I want the depth of the back to be 12 inches. So I'm going to minus 12 inches from it. Whatever I have will be the length I'll be using for the back. I added 1.5 inches to it, 1 inch to create a channel for my elastic band, and 1.5 inch to the base. So I'm going to fold the top of the fabric like this in order to create a channel. I'm going to fold it in so that the elastic band will be able to pass through it. I'll be making use of a small elastic band. So I'm going to remove the pattern from the fabric, and I'm going to open the fabric up. So I'm going to hem this neckline to the 12 inches I notched on the fabric. So wherever you want your back to start from, that is where you are going to hem this armhole part to. I'm done creating a channel at the top of the fabric, so I'm going to be passing this elastic band through that channel with the help of a safety pin. So I'm going to pin the elastic band at the edge so that I'll not drag it out while taking it to the other end. So after taking it to this end, I'm going to drag it to where it's okay, and I'm going to notch both sides of it. So I've gone ahead to turn the armhole of the front with my fabric. I used my fabric as a facing for it, and I've gone ahead to stitch both sides of the elastic band. So I'm going to place it on that 12 inches. I'm going to place the back on the 12 inches like this. Then I'm going to sew it to the end. I'm going to drag the fabric and sew it to the end. On the other end also, I'm going to start sewing from that 12 inches. Make sure the two right sides are facing each other. So I'm going to close up both sides of the fabric. Then I'm going to hem the base round. This is the band I'll be using for the neckline. The length is about 44 inches long and the width is 4 inches on fold. So I'm going to fold the neckline into two equal parts like this. Then I'm going to notch the center. I'm going to fold the band into two equal parts. Then I'm going to notch the center too. Then I'm going to place the two centers of the band and the fabric together, and I'm going to sew from one center to another. But before I do that, I'll have to close the two ends of the fabric. So I'm going to measure the neckline around. Whatever I have, I'm going to divide it into two and mark it on my band. So I'm folding my band into two like this. Then what I have, I'm going to take my tape and mark it on the band. Then I'm going to notch it. When I notch it, I'm going to close the two ends of the fabric. Then I'm going to stop at that side where the notch is. So the notch is going to appear on both sides of the fabric. So I'm going to turn my fabric over to the wrong side. The fabric is folded into two, don't forget that. Then I'm going to close the end like this. I'm going to sew it into where the notch is. Then I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. Then I'm going to open it up through the center when I'm done. So I'm done attaching the band to the neckline. You can see how it is. I went ahead to iron it before attaching it to the neckline. So these are the two ends of the band and this is how it is on the fabric. So I went ahead to close up both sides of the fabric as well. Then I hem the base of the dress. So with this we are done with this tutorial. I hope you guys learned something from it. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you're not yet a subscriber. Like this video and comment, and I'll see you guys in my next video.